What do you do if you want to record a bass track, but you don't have a bass? Well, today I'm going to show you a few different options using a 6-string electric guitar and my Fender Tone Master Pro. So let's jump into it. So I recently created this track using a combination of AI and my own guitar parts, and that was in a recent video, which I will link to. What I wanted to do, though, was replace the bass, because the bass parts that were spat out were pretty ordinary. So first of all, here's how it sounds with the original bass part. Skip a bit. So it's now. Now, when you hear it with the rest of the track, it actually sounds quite good. But when you hear it in isolation, it's pretty average. And then it changes. And I should add, I'd EQ'd some of this as well, so without any effects on it, it sounds like this. So it sounds pretty bad. I think I can do better. So I'm going to mute that, and so without a bass at all, it will sound like this. Okay, so what I want to do is jump into my Fender Tone Master Pro. I've set up a few different options in here, and I'm going to start by showing you a bass cabinet that I've picked. I've got a metal gate, which I'm going to switch off for now, and let's jump into the bass amp. So I've selected a bass stack. It's the Super Bassman Overdrive, which comes with the 8x10 Bassman cabinet. So if we go into the cabinet, I've got a single RE20 mic that is half an inch off the cap, and I have a low cut of 75 hertz, which actually could go a bit lower than that. So let's go down to, I don't know, let's say 55 hertz, and I've put a high cut of 5.4 hertz for now. Going back to the amp settings, I have a bit of gain on it, because this is a heavy metal track. I want to actually have a bit of gain on the bass sound as well. Put the blend to 5. I have these settings, so the mid frequency is set to 8.5 and boosted by about 7. And then treble is just above 6. And then I have the deep switch on and the bright switch off. Now, on my guitar, I'm using the bridge humbucker on my Epiphone Les Paul here. And that sounds like this. Now, I can also roll the tone back a little bit. I'll show you what difference it makes using the tone rolled off in a little while once I've got this dialed in. So obviously the first thing I need to do is some pitch shifting and drop this by an octave, because that is not a bass frequency. So I've set up the PolyVoice, the Chromatic pitch shifter, the virtual Capo or Capo, and also the new Aethon Synth. I'm going to go through each of these options and see which one is best. I'm going to start with the Chromatic pitch shifter, because this was the first pitch shifting effect in the Tone Master Pro. So I've got the mix 100%, pitch set to minus 1200 cents, which is an octave. I've got no delay. Tone is just rolled off a little bit. And what's on page 2? Oh, spillover. And it sounds like this. If I roll the tone all the way off, not bad. So that's one option. Second option was the next effect to be added to the Tone Master Pro, which was the virtual Capo, or Capo if you're from America. So if I turn that on, you have some extra settings here, whether you want low, medium or high resolution, and then fast or normal tracking. I've got it on fast and high resolution right now. and with the tone rolled off. Okay, so that is option number 2. Option number 3, the PolyVoice, and I've just set all the voices down an octave. I've got the mix at 100%. That's another possible contender. I'm not sure actually out of those 3 which is best. And then finally, I have the Aethon Synth. And I've set that up to sound like this. I've got a bass wave and I have the mix set to 100%, the volume to 100%. It sounds like this. Let's go back to the PolyVoice. Kind of get a bit more of the guitar tone coming through with that one. I quite like. Try the pitch shifter again. That one doesn't have as much kind of body to it. I'm not sure if it's just the additional volume that's making me think that it sounds better. But I'm going to stick with this one. So to really test this, I need to record. So I'm going to record the PolyVoice, and then I'm going to record the Aethon Synth and see how they sound in the track. So I can get rid of some of these other pedals. They might be affecting the DSP for the recording. I'm not sure if they are or not, but let's get rid of them. I don't actually need this metal gate either. Let's get rid of that. So all I have is the PolyVoice and the Super Bassman Overdrive, and then I'll switch over afterwards to the synth and turn off the PolyVoice. Okay. Right, and then we'll take back to here somewhere, and let's mute that and record this one. Okay, let's have a listen to see how it sounds. First of all, record it, and then I'll turn on the rest of the mix. Okay. Just to remind you how it sounds without. Okay, and let's try this one. Solo it first just to make sure. Okay, and with the track. Can't hear a massive amount of difference, to be quite honest. All right, I think bass 1 sounds better, but I'm just going to try something else. I'm going to put some effects on this. So I'm just going to add a plugin to each of these tracks and just have a quick play with this. Messing around with the plugin, I think that I'll get a better tone with the bass 1, which was using the PolyVoice. That sounds quite convincing to me as a distorted bass. Pretty happy with that. So there we have it. I've turned a Les Paul into a metal bass. I hope you found this video useful, and I'll see you in the next one.